Panasonic booth, and we are just about to talk with my two guests about a topic which is not usually associated with electronic companies. As Panasonic made the environment central to all of its business activities and aims to become the #1 green innovation company in the electronics industry by the year 2018, which by coincidence marks the 100th anniversary of Panasonic. Last year, Panasonic signed also to the strategic partnership contract with the UNESCO World Heritage Center. And part of the activities is the sponsorship of the TV program, the World Heritage Special on the National Geographic channel. And today we have from Hong Kong two key people working on this project. Please welcome Mr. Simeon Dawes and Mr. Mark Francis from National Geographic channel. Welcome, Simeon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Great. Have a seat. It's an honor to meet you guys. Because now I can say I also talk to people from the National Geographic.
National Geographic, sure.
This is quite something. Is it your first time in Berlin? I mean, as part of the World Heritage Berlin?
It is. It is.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
First time we got here yesterday?
Yep, yesterday. It's treating us very well so far.
But you haven't been here before?
No.
Okay, so trust me, this is a World Heritage. But in general, maybe you could explain us something about your channel, about the National Geographic.
Sure. So I think most people are quite familiar with National Geographic channel, but for those who need a little bit more background, it's actually a joint venture between the National Geographic Society, which has obviously been around since 1888.
And also probably also introduce you because you are the Senior Vice President, Advertising Sales of National Geographic.
Sure. Thank you. and the channel's a joint venture. It was formed in 1996 and launched in Asia. And as I said, it's a joint venture between News Corp and the Society. And now it's probably in the top 3 most widely distributed channels in the world. We're in 193 countries and regions. We broadcast in 37 languages. And we're in 435 million households. So as a cable and television business, yeah, it's very big, very successful. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of background to the channel. In terms of the relationship to UNESCO, I'll start with the Society. The Society's had a long history with UNESCO, especially the Maps division, in promoting awareness about preservation of World Heritage sites. They actually collate annually to print maps on World Heritage sites. And that's been going on for many years. And obviously as an extension to that from a broadcast perspective, the channel now has acquired and commissioned over 100 hours of content for World Heritage sites across the last 15 to 20 years.
Okay, and can you explain us the World Heritage Special, the partnership with Panasonic?
So the partnership was actually formed, we're in the 2nd year now, so it's actually now about 17 months old. And
here we go, it's a live stream. Not bad. Okay, sorry.
And in the first year, we used the library of content that we've got. It's a monthly special that is shown globally in every territory that we're in across the world. And it's a monthly special 1 hour of programming that we actually took out of our library before. I think the big evolution has come this year in the 2nd year, where we have embarked on developing 9 hours of bespoke content for this partnership. And what's interesting about this is that we've taken a different approach in storytelling to what has traditionally been held with World Heritage content. And Mark will talk about this a little bit later. The other thing that kind of tied this up and allowed us to take this to the next level is this is the 40th anniversary of the UNESCO World Heritage Center. So it's a nice celebration to tie it all together.
And I also heard that you have taken a local personality to support the campaign for it.
So because we're a global channel and we act as a local channel in many territories, in India we've actually instilled Dia Mirza, who is a well-known Bollywood star, and a runner-up Miss India, I believe, and a Miss Asia Pacific, so a very familiar face within the Indian market, and she's going to be our on-air face, so she's going to do promotions and activities for us. And really it's just about kind of creating as much awareness for the local audiences that we possibly can through other personalities. You know, from our perspective, this type of partnership is kind of core to the DNA of National Geographic. So, you know, we're very grateful to be the media partner for Panasonic and UNESCO's partnership, and being able to tell these stories to our consumers is a fantastic opportunity.
Okay. And you, Mark, as the executive producer of National Geographic, the channel itself, can you tell us something about the program itself?
Sure. I think, you know, we're still in production now. It's a very big project for us. essentially what it is 9 films shot in high definition. And we picked what we believe are 9 iconic, famous, inspiring World Heritage sites around the world. And we go behind the scenes to really try and uncover and answer the question, what makes them so special, why they're deserving of the preservation. The title of the series, and you can see some video behind you now, from the Amazon episode, which is the first, it's called Access 360 World Heritage, and that kind of gives you a clue, and Simeon mentioned this earlier. We were really keen on finding a different way of doing these, telling these stories. There's a lot of World Heritage content out there that typically is quite academic and quite dry and throws a lot of information at you. Our approach is quite different. It was really focusing on bringing fresh new insights into some of these familiar icons. And I guess the sell of the series is a bit like if you watch Taj Mahal, you might think you know the Taj Mahal, but you really don't, especially when you watch these shows. So I think we've been very successful in doing that so far.
And how easy was it just to find specifically these 9 that you're going to talk about within the series? I mean, I understand how many options are there in the first place?
I think it's 962 World Heritage sites.
And you just chose 9 out of it?
Yeah, we had to whittle that down to 9, so it wasn't easy. Yeah, you can imagine. Look, there's a lot of World Heritage sites out there, but the fact is not all of them make great television. I think there are 3 in Berlin, by the way, World Heritage sites, but don't ask me to name them. It was difficult. Our partnership with Panasonic, we spoke a lot about having a balance through the series of man-made and natural sites. So that was one of the considerations. The other thing for me as an executive producer is, I was heavily biased towards going for the most iconic, famous structures. You could argue that because a lot of people are already familiar with that, you shouldn't do that as a series, but rather go for lesser-known sites. But I just felt it's a new series. We really needed to hook an international audience with it. So I believe we made the right decision in choosing our final line. So.
And how difficult was it just to shoot that? Did you just go to the side, take out your camera, and you just start shooting, or was it a little bit more complicated than that? A little difficult?
In terms of our production process, I think every National Geographic production is challenging. We hold ourselves, or we believe we hold ourselves, a very high standard of production value. So, before going anywhere, we have to do months of research. We have to do pre-interviews and casting with our characters, much like you would do with a movie. Because obviously in the documentary world, you cannot make things up. You have to work with what you're given, but still make sure you're shaping a good hour of entertaining television. I did bring with me some behind-the-scenes footage from the production. So,
will we be able just to watch it here?
Here we go. So, obviously having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that could be also a shot like in the home appliance. It's about cooking. It's a cooking show. No, okay.
Yeah.
Here are the animals.
Exactly. So, we use a lot of, different tools in our production, but I would say there's a lot of homework. We have a very stringent standards and practices division within National Geographic that double and triple fact checks everything that we do.
Do you have a certain rule when you start getting everything together? Is there a certain balance? Is it going to be about more animals, more monuments, people? Is there a certain balance?
Yeah. What I wanted to do was the monuments themselves are obviously awe-inspiring, but that's not where the real story is. We found that really it was about the people who are passionate, the people who live in the shadows of these World Heritage sites and whose lives in some shape or form are impacted by these sites. And it's through their stories that we could bring emotion and heart to these stories about World Heritage sites, which I think is another thing that distinguishes the series.
Yeah, but also you have 2 options to see that series, either on National Geographic in general, or you can use VIERA Connect. I mean, we were talking to our crowd for the last few days about VIERA in general, so I kindly would ask for the remote, because the other chance to watch your show would be to use VIERA Connect, use the Panasonic presents the World Heritage Special app, just go for OK. I mean, you have other options as well using VIERA Connect, but specifically when it comes to the World Heritage, that will be it. And then you will see like the map with the 9 destinations. It's that every month there will be a new one coming to it. So we will start with the September. It's going to be about the Amazonas, correct? Yes.
Yep.
Just play, and then you can enjoy the program on VIERA Connect. So, Simon, What do you think of this new way of distribution, the content? Is there a certain fear? We don't want them to watch
There's
anything else than
no
our
fear at
program?
all. Look, I think there's no doubt that the media landscape is changing rapidly at the moment. And the way in which consumers are able to view content now is whenever, wherever they want to. And that's not just being defined by products like VIERA Connect and internet television, but I think the notion of devices, tablets, the mobility of people being able to watch content when they want is very real today. And we as a content producer as well as a media owner have to embrace this opportunity. We have to, where it makes sense, ensure that we're complementing it with our existing business.
Well, it's a very, very interesting way of, and apparently I wish I would be part of it. But afterwards, I'm going to ask you about the 3 spots in Berlin. Hopefully just going to tell me about it. But thank you so much for sharing this, and I wish you all the best. The Amazonas is going to be in September.
That's right.
And we will have a second segment coming up today at 1700, so 5 o'clock p.m. You will have a chance just to continue our conversation here with the lovely guys from National Geographic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will give